All right, welcome everybody to MBW Champions Analyze. No, this is another game tout, but we are going to be analyzing the trailer that dropped yesterday for The Legend of Zelda. Wait for it, Tears of the Kingdom. I know we got a title. What in the world? So here it is. So yeah, today we're going to do an in-depth analysis on The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I didn't have time yesterday to do any analysis or anything like that. I did see the trailer live when it happened, but I just had work and a couple things I had to do. So I just logged off work today, and I want to go through through the trailer and kind of give you my opinion on what I think and what blah blah blah. I did though see a couple other people's opinions and stuff like that since I didn't do it right away. So I am gonna kind of agree or disagree. I do actually disagree with a lot of people, but there were some things where I was like, oh, that's a clever idea, and that's, this and that. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump in, because I know it's going to be a lot of discussion. And again, put your comments down, and we can further discuss. So let's do it. So, trailer, if you guys didn't see the trailer already, watch it. The trailer starts off with some cave paintings. You can notice in the background there's like a lot of bricks and stuff like that. But it's depicting some sort of person, deity, person with a mask, somebody. And then basically it shows that battle right there. And we'll kind of go a little bit more in depth with it. And then it closes off with these 7, I'm going to call them tears, hovering over this creature. And of course, they have hand in hand what presumably is Zelda, and the deity kind of holding hands like this to make a circle. And we'll kind of get into that. But I love this. By the way, my God. My God. My God. I just need to back up really quick. Who watched this trailer and was like, wow. Like when he jumped off that cliff and then it starts fading into Hyrule, like that transition right there. Holy cow, that looks amazing. Like legit, that is like so good. Anyways, this trailer was super short. Link lands on this this flying contraption, but then we get the logo, first logo and title screen. Just perfect. I know the trailer is short, but the thing is, it was just little enough that like I just love it. I probably wouldn't have loved it if they didn't give the title of the game. So now that we got the title, Tears of the Kingdom, or what a lot of people are saying, Tears of the Kingdom, which is actually it could be a play on words. You don't know. But like obviously it's Tears, but again it could have that like double edge thing. And of course, again, this is coming out in May. Right here. Bam, May 12th, 2023. I know a lot of people were saying, oh, it's delayed. It's not technically delayed, because when they first announced when it was going to be released, they said spring of 2023, and that is still spring. So it is falling in lines. I think a lot of people were thinking that they're going to try to release it in March, just to get that 6-year mark, but 2 extra months to put a little elbow grease and polish all over this thing. I am okay with that. Anyways, I'm gonna break it down real. Now that we kind of went through that whole thing. So this deity right here, that like it's like a god or it could be. I don't know. You guys can see my mouse, right? Yeah, my mouse is on screen. So this could be a mask, because if you look right here, this looks like hair. But it also looks like the, like little creatures. This right here looks like a teardrop, kind of like from the Sheikah eye, you can kind of see the same thing. Like this eyeball right here has those like three things, kind of like how the Sheikah eye has, or the lens of truth. You know, like all those things. Like this could be, you know, all related with like the Sheikah eye and stuff like that. Now, the Sheikah and stuff like that has always been very linked up with Zelda. You know, the blue color and everything like this. But as you can see, like by the game itself, all the power that comes out of it, it's always green. So we'll get into that a little bit later. One thing I just noticed, that there's like a whole bunch of like fire, like particles like going everywhere, kind of like smoke a little bit. It's kind of interesting. So right here, we could see the malice, like overloading, like this whole screen, like just this little section right here is not malice, but like it is like climbing over there and like destroying basically. You can see a dead, I'm gonna just call them Hylians, but human. Like they are trying to protect, you know, maybe the kingdom or something like that, and like these moblins and malice are just overloading them. Like they have no chance. Poor little guy had nothing left. But you'll notice here too, these horns. I don't know if the horns like signify like, you know, like the time frame of like where they're from, or like the more power that they have from like the malice, like they're at like full strength, like maybe that's what that is. Like, hey, this is us at full strength, or that is what they look like back in the day, and then now, generations later, they have like a small horn. So this is the interesting part right here. This is obviously, you know, I think nobody is questioning that. You know, it seems like a god. It seems like, you know, somebody of like high stature, right? That is like basically on a pedestal, but like floating in the sky. So you'll see right here the mountains, the clouds over here, and then like the teardrops right here. Now, of course, anytime we see Zelda and we see seven different things, like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's like we think sages right away, right? At first, that was the first thing that popped in my head, but then I was like, are they really going to go through sages, or are they just kind of saying like this is going to be like, you know, 7 dungeons in order to get to, you know, whatever? And again, that could be linked up with sages, but it could just be the number that they chose. However, now that I'm thinking about it, and I see like how, you know, this first thing just pans up, right? Like it's almost like the story is kind of backwards. It's showing the battle, it's showing, you know, the Zelda stuff and blah blah blah. But I think this is like kind of like the last portion of it. It's almost like this creature was kind of like saving the people, or saving like the sages. Let's just call these things like maybe they're the spirits of the sages. So these actually spirits is probably a good word for it. So I would say that these things right here, yes, they look like teardrops, but they're most likely the essence of the spirit of whomever it belongs to. So, in that case, if they were bringing them up from the kingdom, like basically like it's kind of like trying to save them, or at least like hide them. I feel like that's kind of like the premise of this game. Like it is like like these souls or like these spirits are going to be tucked away within Hyrule, and the malice is basically trying to kind of like overload it, or like, you know, like we have to go to the dungeon to put the teardrop in the place to kind of like save the kingdom, basically. Like, so like this one, for example, could be the forest, let's just say, or Death Mountain. Let's just say Death Mountain. So this is like the spirit of you know, the Goron sage lineage, and then basically you get that teardrop, and maybe that's what Link is carrying on his side. We'll kind of look at that right now. And then basically you go to that dungeon, complete it, and then at the very end you put that teardrop to basically cure Death Mountain. And that's basically what you need to do, is kind of go to every section of the game. Go to the desert to do one teardrop. You go to you know, the like the Lost Woods, Lost Mountains. What the heck? Death Mountain, and then the Lake Hylia, like all those things, like basically like just in sections could be what you need to do. Anyways, that's one thought. Anyways, he's obviously, you know, kind of showing like this is, we're protecting it, we're like, you know, it's, or this is the force, the life force of everything. Again, that's why I'm thinking spirits. So this section right here, this one is a little, I've been trying to analyze it, and like I'm disagreeing with a couple people. I like, somebody said that this is Ganon. Could be. I'm not gonna say yes, you know, like it's a definite yes or no, because we'll, you know, we can get swindled. We can, like, but it looks like it looks like it's Zelda, right? Because like Zelda, every time, you know, they're trying to like, you know, like not like sacrifice, but do like a ritual and like, you know, to like pull her soul out and stuff like that. She is in this position all the time. So like, it seems like this would be Zelda. Has the long hair right here. This, you know, could be a, like it's a dress, but at the same time, like it could be something else. So like I can't say for certain. There is a circle right here, which Ganon had. However, this also could be, you know, it could be something else. But if you notice right here, there is no eyeball in here. So her eye is like shut, or her soul got taken out of it, or, you know, maybe the teardrop got pulled out of her, because basically that eyeball of the Sheikah, anyways, if you remember, it's a teardrop coming out of it. And so if there's no like pupil, there's no eye, like, you know, like maybe that teardrop is actually like the soul. I don't know, man. But anyways, some sort of ritual. There is malice down here. I just noticed my mouse is not on there. I'm so sorry. That whole time, I don't know if my mouse was like showing anything. Anyways, there's no pupil here. That's what I meant to say. I think you guys got the gist of it. This is the hair, blah, blah, blah. And the malice down here is kind of like creeping up. So it's kind of like she's being sacrificed, or, you know, like a ritual of, or this is like creeping in. This figure right here, we don't know who it is, but my guess is that this is Ganondorf. This, how wide it is, it doesn't look like it's that same creature that we were seeing in the very beginning of the trailer. So this is another presence, and my guess is that this is Ganon, based on, hey, they're doing some sort of ritual and there's malice coming out of it. So What's interesting, again, all this fire that's flying around right here, it's almost like this is like Link is looking at this like after the events that just had happened. So anyways, right here you see again the eye looks like the Sheikah eye right there. But you'll notice right here that circle thing that Ganon had in that first trailer is also on this character. Because this is definitely not Ganon. A lot of people are speculating, and it's a good speculation, that this is Princess Zelda. Just because of the, like, how she looks. Kind of comes out from here to there, so she looks female here. And the hair is long enough that it does like the curls and stuff like that. I was trying to just brainstorm at all other scenarios, like maybe this is Link in a prior form, so like Link back in the day. It would make sense based on this deity right here. He's doing this. And then, Link doing this, and so basically it's like it's showing that like the logo for this, like everything continues in a cycle, which is what Nairu was all about. Like it's the life cycle, and so like this cycle is going to be a theme in this game for sure. Like that's a no-brainer. It's in the logo of this cycle, the dragon or the snake eating itself in that circle. It's like it's all about cycles. So basically like like what is present happened in the past, it's gonna happen in the future. Like it's all linked together, hence the the whole like there's a lot of time manipulation and stuff like this in this game. So anyways, they're making a circle right here, which is very reminiscent of the logo and the door that we're about to see. I'm still leaning towards that this is Zelda, just based on like how long the hair is, and then again that this is going like pretty far out. If it was Link, I would assume that it would have been coming down right here. In other words, this person does look like they have boobs. What's interesting too is right here, these two teardrops on the very top of the screen. There's like one right here and one right here, and it's almost signifying that it's like a mirror image. And that's the reason why I kind of first thought of the scenario that it could be, this person over here is a descendant or a maybe not descendant, but like basically like is pretty much linked up with this person. One more thing I want to talk about before I start going into weird brainstorming stuff is this symbol. Yes, it could be a teardrop, but it also looks like a comma, right? Which a comma links things together. Link. All right, I'm gonna move on from that. Another thing I do want to point out is like just this portion right here. Like it seems like her arm is messed up, but it could just be the cave drawing. Like maybe it's like that's not the case, but like it almost looks like how Link's hand is right now, which is another reason why it's like, well, that could be Link. I don't know. Anyways, getting into the trailer right here. Well, actually, show that right there. So another circle showing the Link. This is also kind of a like a mirror image of that portion. There is a upside down Sheikah eye right here. So more references to that. This is like two different shots here, obviously. I think everybody knows that. I saw somebody point something out on a video, and I'm going to show you guys. But first, I kind of just want to see anything I can see over here. So this thing, I thought this was going to be a dungeon when I first saw it, but now that it's shown it so many different times, I almost feel like this is not a dungeon. Or maybe not like, you know, the typical dungeon that we're like assuming that there's going to be. Like this might be like, you know, like one of those like trial things. Kind of like, I don't know if you guys remember Phantom Hourglass. There was like a building that you would go in and you would like try to pass the trials, but you can only get so far into it until you get, you know, stronger and stuff like that. I almost think that this thing here is more of like a trial of courage. That's what I'm going to call it. What's interesting up here is that this is snow. There's like no leaves on this tree and stuff like that. So we're definitely going to get different kind of like climate changes over here. So this is going to be kind of interesting. Anyways, this is the thing that somebody had pointed out on a video. I think it was like Zeltic, I think. Right here in the background, you can see that, you know, some sort of dragon. He was saying that he doesn't think it's that one blue dragon from Breath of the Wild. I think it is. I think it's just like in the distance, so it just doesn't look like it exactly. But I actually think it's the same dragon. So I'm wondering if there's, you know, like, I wonder like what type of unique ideas could go with the dragons up in the sky. Like how are we going to be able to interact with them and you know, like, are we going to be able to interact with them? Like, I'm really curious, you know, now that I see, you know, them in the background. It's like, what is this? I do really like the setup for like all these like different areas. Like just looking at it, like it doesn't look like you can latch on to this mountain at all. Like it looks like this is going to be not climbable, at least in my opinion. It doesn't seem like it looks like it's too smooth. Like if you look right here, like I don't know if you're going to be able to climb these structures, but you're going to be able to like walk through and, you know, pass whatever, you know, place you need to go to, basically. Anyways, let's see what else we can find. Well, a lot of people were pointing this out. At the very ends of all of these islands, it seems like there's like these, you know, these things that come out of it. I actually noticed that in I want to say it was this trailer. So when Ganon, you know, like returned, basically. Let's see if I can stop it in time. See, like, oh, it's too fast. Never mind. Okay, never mind. I might be totally off. But anyways, I think like all of these things, it's kind of like they airlifted it from the ground, like, you know, like for some sort of like design that they did to like lift it up, which means that there's probably actually going to be some underground stuff. Like I know it's always been rumor like, hey, is there going to be like an underground area, but like we're not sure yet. Like it hasn't been official. Like when it showed, you know, Link fighting that that thing in the ground, for example, like under the ground, we don't know if it was under the ground. It actually could be a one of the caves up in the sky. We have no idea. But because a lot of these things are like making holes and like, and it, uses the stuff to like, like fly and get up there, like that means that there has to be some sort of like tunnels and stuff that to like build that sort of stuff, right? I might be overthinking that. Anyways. Okay. Let's go here. This is like so cool. So, everything's in black and white in the background because every time you do the time manipulation, everything turns black and white, and then whatever thing that you're manipulating is still in color, and then it kind of goes in reverse motion. So that's the reason why you see like this color scheme and stuff like that. But if you see in the background, this is a cave. What? Oh no, so I'm super excited that like, because we now see, like, this is like the one glimpse of like, hey, there's a cave, and like, obviously I think we all know this area, in Breath of the Wild, there was no cave there, so like, super excited for that. This right here kind of tells us a lot of how the game mechanics are gonna kind of happen, where obviously Link is jumps on this and kind of goes upwards, right? The interesting thing about this is like now you can kind of piece together what kind of happened, at least like after the you beat the Calamity, and then maybe this is like years later. I don't know how long in between this game and Breath of the Wild is, but there's a whole bunch of these rocks. You see them everywhere, like on the ground. And obviously on Breath of the Wild, these islands that you see up in the sky, they weren't there. So like what happened in order for like everything to kind of come out this way? Like there has to be some sort of thing that like happened, right? So all these rocks or whatever we want to call them, kind of fell to the ground. And so, you reverse time and it kind of puts it back to, it's going to take it to like one of these islands up here and stuff like that. So basically in this game, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be looking for like these rocks all over Hyrule, and then shoot up to it to get to the individual islands, because there's going to be like islands all over the vast land of Hyrule, because this land is like freaking huge, right? And like this is like a awesome way to like link it up there. Like I was actually thinking to myself, like we're just gonna find like those teardrop things everywhere and kind of like go vroom, like straight up in the sky to like every single one of these islands. But this actually makes way more sense, and like kind of putting it back to like where it was. I think it's temporary, because like obviously like if we go up there and it attaches back to the island, if we don't reattach it, then how are we going to get back to this island? So I think it's going to get up there, give you a couple seconds to like jump off of it, and then it's going to fly back down to the ground, where it was, like kind of like it replicates like the path of like where it drops. So it's just basically an elevator. It's going to start at the bottom and it goes up, and then whenever it like it gets there, it gives you like 2 seconds to jump off, and then it drops right back down, so that later if you go back to it, you can go back to the island whenever you want. Cool. Very cool mechanic. I think this is going to be so interesting for Breath of the Wild, especially because it does absolutely look, based on like when Link's flying in the air and stuff like that, it absolutely does look like that every single Sheikah shrine and the pillars are gone. So how are we going to expand the world of Hyrule and want to explore the land of Hyrule if there's no shrines anymore? And this would be like a perfect way to do that. I do want to point out right here this thunderstorm, or this, you know, obviously it's this like island, or you know, maybe it's a dungeon. There's something right here where basically it's like it's covered by clouds, and it's really cool that it's like, so we're gonna have to try to figure out like what puzzles or what do we need to do in order to get rid of this thunderstorm, so that once it's clear you can get into the dungeon or something like that. Like this freaking intrigues me so much. It's the type of stuff that I was missing from Breath of the Wild. This is the stuff that I'm like, oh. I don't know what this is. I was trying to think about like what kind of bad guy this is. For some reason, it's not clicking in my head on it. Like it might be a Vire or something, but like I don't know. Anyways, Link has a new suit right here. We saw him in the other trailer, but like right here, we've been seeing him in the Heroes Champion suit. Now we see him in that like old-fashioned suit. And so a lot of people are thinking that this is another Link. I still don't think that we're going to be seeing another Link. That's at least my opinion. I thought that might be the case, but based on like how we've been seeing the trailer so far, I think this is just like an outfit that you get. But I could be wrong. Let me just double check something. Alright. Yeah, that's all I want to talk about there. So if you notice flying around right here, these like little dots and stuff like that, this definitely looks like the Lost Woods. And the Lost Woods, those like, you know, like the dust and little fairies that kind of fly around, that is the look of Lost Woods. So it's almost like, I don't know if there's like another Lost Woods like in the sky, or in like the Deku Tree, like that island that's in that that, you know, surrounded by the water, like lifted. Because like a lot of people pointed out on a previous trailer that the Deku Tree was missing in the background, so it would make sense on if that became an island too and shot up to the sky. And now this is like maybe one of the roots of the Deku Tree, and you're kind of like trying to climb up. Only difference is all these trees, at least we see in the background, are from the sky, so that was like, you know, happened in the past and stuff like that. So that might be wrong. It's just knowing that people were saying that the Deku Tree was missing, and I never actually looked to confirm it. Like I never did like a one-to-one try to, you know, see, can you see the Deku Tree in this screen and stuff like that. But that's what a lot of people were saying, so I'm guessing they did the research and saw that the Deku Tree wasn't there. So it's like, so what happened to it? Did they burn it down, or did it go to the sky? I'm thinking it went to the sky if that's the case. But anyways, that's all we really see right here. This kind of Link climbing the route. And now here we see like a big old island in the background. It doesn't look like it's like totally in the sky. So like I don't know if this is one of those you know, like when you're above the clouds, I'll just call this the new Skyloft. Like, you know, like that area, it doesn't seem like it's visible from the ground, you know, at least when you're in Hyrule. So this looks like it's not quite as high as like that area. But here's some new things that we can kind of point out. In Death Mountain is going crazy. It wasn't active, but now it looks like it is active. The only thing is, it doesn't look like this is lava. It looks like it's Malice. So a big theory that I think that is happening in the game is when Ganondorf came back to life, Malice went everywhere, right? That like, and it's just feeding through the ground of Hyrule. And it's seeping up. Obviously, it's going to seep up more at like locations that are, you know, like that have more underground, you know, like paths and stuff like that, tunnels. So Death Mountain is a prime example of like the malice went all the way in the ground and it's just coming out of there. This is what I think is going to be the point of the game and the point of like the teardrops and stuff like that. So I don't know if we're going to have the teardrops and then we have to take it to there, or I don't know if we need to, you know, go there and, you know, complete whatever is going on over there and then we get a teardrop like that. Like that's what I'm not sure, or maybe not teardrop, but like you save that area and that spirit from you know, what that spirit had like governed and stuff like that. So it's kind of like we're gonna have to go clean up malice from Hyrule. So right here we see one area. I'm pretty sure that Zora's domain over here is going to be filled with it. You know, we have the desert. The Lost Woods are somewhere over here. I think it's like right here somewhere. And again, I don't know. I can't confirm if there's a Deku tree. I don't see it. And a couple of other things. I wasn't sure of this hole right here. Because look, watch. This is... And maybe this is just me going crazy. Like, it glows. Am I the only one that sees that? I saw nobody, like say anything about it. I'm going to kind of put this at slow speed. Let's turn that down. So, look at, there's like a glowing... Like, what is that glow? I'm a little confused. I'm trying to figure out what this hole is, like if there's like something that like came out of it. What area is this in? The castle's right here. Oh, you know, this might be... You know what? I think there was one of those Deku... Not Deku. The Sheikah Towers that was in the middle of this. And then it went back into the ground. That's why it looks like a hole. Never mind. So we've already seen this already. Alright, so this thing's really interesting. Oh, also I wanted to kind of shout out right here. Look at this like dust storm that's over here. You see that? So it's almost like something's going on over there too, which is pretty cool. The shape of this island's really cool too. If you notice, like it's almost like circular. Yeah. I'm just noticing things while I'm kind of going around this. Hold on one second. Okay. Sorry about that. Just looking at these islands right there, it looks like there might be like a treasure chest or something like right there. It's so hard to make out like what these things are. I don't know what this is. I think this might be new to the landscape. Anyways, So this is pretty cool right here. I'm actually super curious on like what this is, or like why, because it didn't happen for like Link to like jump off and then you just like try to land on it, right? Like there's that thing in the middle, directly there, so that you can be able to land on it. So it's almost like Link called it. Now, this might be some like fast travel, like maybe like to warp to different areas. That's probably what it is. That's probably, you know what? I think that's what it is. Because that makes sense. Because the Sheikah Towers are no longer there, and you don't have the slate to go, you know, fast travel anymore. You need some way to fast travel, because like if this game doesn't have fast travel, it's going to be brutal. What I think this is I think this takes you to certain locations. So you probably look at a map and you go like, where do you want to go? And then either Link jumps off something or he gets launched from something, and then you land on it, and then it kind of takes you somewhere. Bet you anything. I will go on record right now. When this game is released, this is fast travel. That's what this is. It's a cool little contraction, though. It's pretty cool. Trying to see if there's anything under it. Can't really see it. Still has green texture coming out of it. And then here's another thing right here. So you'll notice, I noticed a lot of people said that this looks like a dragon. When I was looking at it, it actually looks like, you know, like if you kind of like turn it the other way, like right now it's upside down. Like it almost looks like this is the eye, and this is a hand right here. So it's almost like this is like a spirit of some sort, or like a person. Why that's there, I have no idea. You see another one over here too, like right here. I can't make out if it's a person or not. I can't make out if it's a person, so I'm not exactly sure. Anyways, at the very bottom down here, there is a swirly little thing. I was trying to look at pictures to see like where the swirly thing is coming from. So what I'm not sure is, obviously you know, on one of the first trailers you see like a teardrop, right? A teardrop is, you know, like it goes up and then it transitions. At least we think, you know, it's warping us up. But we don't know, because the cut was really sketchy. You don't know if Nintendo was sketchy, you know, like cropping two things together that weren't related. But anyways, it looks like, you know, like the teardrop goes from there. So, game design wise, how are you gonna know where one of those areas are that you can put a teardrop in order to go up? Because Hyrule is huge. It's going to be very hard to like look for like those little symbols on the ground. So like it has to have some sort of indicator saying, hey, it's over here. I'm thinking that maybe that this is what this is. So it might be just pointing to the ground of like, hey, this is where the drops go. Or, because I'm just trying to think game design wise, or maybe this is Like, because I was kind of looking at this, kind of looks like a well. Like maybe this is like an area that it swoops you into the ground. So maybe this is like any of those green tunnel things. Maybe that is what gets you underground. I don't know. Or maybe that's this thing, the whole like warping thing, where basically it launches you up, like you go into it and it launches you up to the sky, and then that bird thing catches you. I don't know. There's so many different ways that this can go. All right, we see the logo. Again, the dragon eating the thing. We'll talk about the background in just a second, but here's the logo right here. I'll go ahead and do it until the Tears of the Kingdom come out. But you'll notice here that the Master Sword is pretty beat up and brutalized, and then all of a sudden, hey, it's this. What in the world? This one's the question mark that everybody's thinking. There's a lot of people that reference, like, you know, this symbol, you know, the way that everything's drawn, the way that the Zonai stones and even the teardrop are drawn, that it kind of looks like Twilight Princess, which could be true. Like, here is Zelda right here, you know, presumably Zelda, and it has a mirror image right here of the teardrop. Like, it's just like teardrop, teardrop. So here, what I see from this image right here is it's showing us that it's almost mirror image. It's almost one of the same. So if we consider, you know, the Twilight Princess, or we, you know, consider that person, that ancestor is the mirror image of Zelda, then this would make sense. Is Lorule part of this? That's a mirror image of and like, so it's like, is that Zelda in this game? I'm throwing out ideas and stuff like that, but like, it basically shows, you know, again, they're doing that little circle thing when they're putting their hands together. It's kind of referencing that these are part, like, basically the one in the, you know, one to one, or a mirror image of each other. If we are trying to think of, like, you know, the ancestry and stuff like that, then the person on the left, the deity, is Hylia. We never saw what Hylia looked like before she took her human form. The only weird thing is, again, the stones that not the stones, the statutes and stuff that they all made was, you know, it's shown all over the land of Hyrule. So, like, looks nothing like this character, right? But this, like, rabbit or whatever, you know, like, whatever you want to call this, like, it looks like some sort of animal. But again, it has long hair, so this could be a mask. Like, this literally could be Hylia. I will note that in... what trailer is it? It's probably this one. So this thing right here, which again has like the look of like the, you know, that thing that those drawings had, that circle on its head, where these are the eyes right here, eyes, because this looks like a frog or some sort. But this thing is like on almost every single thing of them, so it's just interesting. Which, by the way, we still are unclear about what this symbol is on the very bottom. This yellow symbol that looks like a brush, or not brush, like a broom with like circles around it. It's like, what is that? But anyways, this is a frog, and this is, you know, like, maybe all the things at the top of, you know, in the sky, they have like animal characteristics, like all the gods, or, you know, whatever we want to call them. So a rabbit, frog, it's not out of character to have both of those. Just interesting. I guess since we're looking at this trailer, you'll notice, you know, again, these guys have like the long horns. I'm trying to see, like, now that you know, we've been looking at that trailer for a while, is there anything here that we're seeing? Can't really tell. I'm guessing that, like, because this thing is coming from this area, Link was jumping from over here. He was going this way. Anyways, the trailer always shows that big tower, so like, it's something. That is something, obviously. Oh, I do want to show you one thing right here. So these two things in the background right here, those are exactly what we're talking about, with, you know, like the things from the islands in the sky dropping down. So these are, you know, you'll be able to ride them up to the islands, basically. This is an old trailer, so I'm guessing that, like, that they just didn't add the malice yet coming out of Death Mountain. I think that was probably just like a later addition that they had added. I think they were doing the same kind of like storyline, but like to make it like flushed out, like they decided like, hey, the malice should be coming out of it and stuff like that. Like, so I think that's the case. I don't think that this is like prior to you getting to Ganon or anything like that. Like, I think that this is just a old version of the game. Link is laying on the ground all beat up right here, and then this thing kind of jumps up. I just noticed. So Link is on the ground right here. All beat up. He has no shirt on either. On the original trailer, he did have a shirt on, right? Why am I now just noticing this? Yeah, he has this hero's tunic. That's interesting. There's a couple things going through my head right now. Man, I almost feel like there may be actually time travel in this game. Just based on that one thing. Why I know I had always thought like that might be a thing, but like for some reason that looks like the case. Oh yeah, this is what I was looking at. So this little thing right here. See how this that thing is twirling around this thing right here. Oh, this might be Malice. Never mind. Oh, it is Malice. Okay. See, I was confused. So yeah, anyways, Zelda falls into the thing. I wonder if she died. She turned into a tear. God, I still think that this is the same Link, just because it's like That, or I wonder, like, do you think like you can switch back and forth in between the links? See, just the way that these things cross over right here, like I feel like that those like twirly things launch you. Let's see what else is. I think they only showed us like a. That's what it is. So, on this trailer, I think all they showed us was this thing right here. Which is like, obviously, like he's trying to like repair the Triforce. But the thing is, everything's like, you know, all the colors in Zelda like mean something. That usually means like Triforce, so or like, you know, like good God, like, so it's like is he standing in front of a god right there? Like, is that where maybe that this thing comes into play? I don't know. Anyways, kind of went through that and broke down quite a bit. But a couple theories, I guess, like before I end, I just want to kind of fall into the color scheme of Zelda. So we have blue for wisdom, we have green for courage, and we have, you know, red for power, which is the malice, right? The blue has always signifying courage. I mean, sorry, wisdom, which had a lot to do with the Sheikah stuff. So, like, if you looked and, you know, and remember anything from Breath of the Wild, the majority of every single thing within those Sheikah shrines was blue. You get to those, you know, the monks, the old Sheikhas and stuff like that, which kind of kind of wear the stuff that, you know, like the ancestors of what they're showing on here. And everything is blue on them. This whole trailer, the beginning of that one trailer, that it shows green. So we have red for malice, we have the, you know, the wisdom Sheikah blue, but we haven't really dove into green, which represents courage. We've been seeing the Zonai all over the place, right? Like, you know, like just references to the Zonai, like what happened to them and this and this and that. And now we know that, you know, possibly they went to the sky. Like, you know, that's possibly where they went. But, like, why? Like, why did they go to the sky? And, like, what is this power that is happening? Like, how was this creature, or like this, you know, that uses this green power, able to hold down Ganondorf? And this is where I'm having a trouble time believing that this is Zelda, or carnation of Zelda, like Hylia, because green has always represented Link. So I almost feel like this creature, this deity, is the representation, or like the you know, the kind of the god of like courage, of like Link's lineage, like per se, where basically this is like the courage, this is the cycle, because again, Nairou has always been about cycles, everything cycles and everything like that. Like, she's the one that gave the life force to the world. So if this is a representation of Link, this is where I'm like, I was kind of saying, like is this person, you know, like if it's saying a mirror image, if they're doing this, is this person on the right actually Link? Or this is Zelda or like Hylia. Like, let's just say this is Hylia, and then this is the courage god or whatever. Which are the two teardrops? Or maybe it's not teardrops at all. Maybe it's a hand. And it goes hand in hand. Anyways, there's so many theories that, or like different ways that this can go. But I do think the green is representing courage in some way. I don't think, because a lot of people are saying that this is like all Hylia and this is the route it's going. But like, wouldn't Hylia's power and wouldn't that energy coming off of Hylia be blue? Or am I off base on that? Like, I might be totally wrong. Like, but I always thought that, like, hey, the colors are matching the like the representation of that Triforce piece. And is the Triforce going to be in this game? I don't know. I will let you guys decide. I'll probably be kind of like going through more analysis videos that other people do, because I think I watched 2 of them. Again, I went kind of in depth with like just weird theories that I would say, or I would think, like if I was making a game, I would kind of talk through this like how I am, and then kind of make the story write itself. And so that's the reason why I'm kind of leading towards, again, the whole tiers of like, the different areas. You kind of need to get rid of the malice and like the question is, do you put the teardrop there, or like do you get a teardrop from there and then maybe like input it into that big tower that's in the sky, and then like once you put all the teardrops in there, like blah blah blah, like, or what happened for those things to fall from the sky and hit the ground? Like, what, like, there's so many questions that we still have, but it's good to theorize. Anyways, leave a comment below, and if you want to let me know what your theories are, and I might reply back to you and give my opinions, and maybe I'll learn something new. Maybe there's tons of stuff. I mean, there basically is. There's always stuff that I missed on these trailers, but that was fun doing the analysis. I know I've been doing this for a little bit, so I will let you guys go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Later.